So I am officially snowed in. Oh, yes, I know. I love you too. I love you too, Moose. I love you too. Now, bugger off. You know I don't like you in my face. You know I don't like you in my face. Enough. Enough. Oh, you just got dry. We're not going back out. Hey, you doing? I am snowed in. Like, actually snowed in. We were only supposed to get 15 centimeters today. Still a lot. We've got at least 30. Took the dog out for an adventure. She played in the snow, but it's really wet snow. So she was a snowball when we came back in. I had to dry her off, and she wants to go back out so bad, but it's getting cold. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to go out and change the battery on the camper. Yeah, because unfortunately, as you can tell, the lights are dimming. The battery on the camper is, the power's low because I just got up there. There's been no light today. And I got a dog on my shoulder. Dusty Fields, what about me? Yeah, I've been running what power the camper had most of the day to keep the propane going, the furnace. It's also pretty cold out, and furnace isn't clicking on anymore. That means the battery is dead. So I'm gonna have to run a line from my solar setup, the batteries I'm running right now for the internet, to the camper so I can run the heater for the rest of the night. Because it's going down to minus 16 today. Oh, thank you. I don't mind her on my shoulder, but she's doing it now to just show me that she needs to do something. I'm not letting her back outside besides to poop. Just, I don't want her getting soaking wet today. Again. Yeah, no, I don't mind her on my shoulder. I love her on my shoulders. That's not dominant. She does it, she jumps on my shoulder. I'm the only person she'll let touch, first of all, but she's, up there to get a better view of her surroundings. She's not trying to. There is no. This dog has no dominance in her whatsoever. She's a suck. Right now, it's like -4, and it's getting lower and lower. Sorry, it was minus. It's -2. Enough. Enough. Had enough. No more. You're done. Okay? You good? No, today's not a day for playtime. Yeah, it's gonna be -16. Like right now, it's like -2 or 3. I've had enough. But no, she's going stir crazy because you usually won't be out for a couple hours, but it's got that wet snow. You know, the kind that's perfect for a snowman. Right now, we got at least 30 centimeters on the ground. Literally, I'm snowed in. I just got back in for my second time clearing out my pathways and my panels. But she is overly excited because she wants out to play. She got that puppy in her. Enough climbing. You know I don't like it. You know I don't like this. We're done. Okay, I'll beat you up. I promise. I'll kick the puppy booty. Want a puppy booty kick? The wood stove, it's so freaking complicated, man. I've tried so much. I had a big wood stove that was too much for in here, so I couldn't use it. Risk of burning the place down. That's how hot the bloody thing got. So I got a small camp stove, and no, that isn't working because it leaks smoke, and I don't want to wake up dead. Smoke inhalation. So I've got to get some silicone and some ceramic insulation to go around it to stop the smoke from coming out the sides, and then I'll set it up. I was using propane most of the day, keeping warm with the propane. Then the battery kind of just crapped out on me, so I got light, but no. The stove can't click on. The heater can't click on because of the power. I'm gonna go fix that in a few minutes when I go out in a little bit for the night. I'll switch it over to my other batteries and I'll run the propane all night. I'm in a camper, man. This is my home. I live in a camper up on Homestead. I'm not homeless anymore. Yeah, New Jazz. I don't want to wake up dead. I don't want to be the start of the zombie apocalypse. I've got. Well, since I've been using the propane for all of October, I'm down to about 200 pounds of propane left. I got two 100 pounds of propane. I had two 50 pounds that were hooked up, and that just ran out. So I've already switched them over to the 100 pounders, but it won't click on because the battery on the camper is very low. And that's an easy fix. I just go outside, run the jumper cables from that battery. Stop. Enough. I've had enough. I just run, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just run the jumper cables from that battery over to my battery system for my solar, and that'll work all night. Oh yeah, it goes down to like -40 up here. But I've got the propane, and once I gotta get that cash ahead of me to get the ceramic insulation, and I'll be able to run the wood stove inside. But that's not a now thing. I can't do that now. I can't go anywhere to do anything because we are snowed in. Uh, they haven't cleared our road yet, so nobody can really leave. Should be done by tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah, no, I'm snowed in. Literally snowed in. I can get out of my camper. I've been clearing my pathways to the to our road that goes to the main road, which goes to the highway. But the main road hasn't been cleared yet. Our road hasn't been cleared yet, but I've got pathways. Honestly, I've got meat. I got no veggies, and I've got some canned goods and whatnot. Plus, in one of the cubbies, I've got my emergency winter supplies. Moose, I told you not to do this again. Yeah, I know you want to play, but you're not going up there. My head is not a balance board. Ugh. She's trying to stand on my head. And she's gonna stand on my head. Hey! Okay, that's enough. Sit. No more. Be good. Calm your butt down. I've got my pickles and my pickled supplies, my pickled meats and whatnot. So that's my snowed in supplies. And I've got fresh but frozen meat under the camper. It's been cold. I've got at least 20 pounds left. But no veggies. I couldn't go to town and get anything if I wanted to because I'm broke. I just spent money on the money I had on when I went to Timmins yesterday on the pair of very expensive winter boots for -40 because that's necessary up here. Next goal is some snow pants and a snow coat. Yeah, no, she's the boss. She thinks. Now she knows I'm the boss. She's just in play mode. She's got a lot of energy pent up. She only got outside for an hour today, covered in snow, soaking wet, soaking freaking wet. I'll show you what you're doing right now. Butt scratches. Does Moose want butt scratches? Mosey butt scratches? Mosey want the butt scratches? Yeah, she wants the butt scratches. She wants the butt scratches. I got some Timberlands. No, not just any. They got the reinforced ankle and the steel toes. And they fit. No, that's one thing. Boots above all else are important. I am willing to do whatever, get as pricey boots as I can because they're worth it. They'll last a couple years and they'll keep my feet warm. Damn it. Moose, seriously. I'm gonna kick your butt. She is fully sitting on the top of my head. She knows. Uh, yeah, boots. Honestly, more important than a winter coat. I can get by pretty well without a winter coat, just by doing these layers. Uh, a long sleeve T-shirt, a short sleeve T-shirt, 2 hoodies. That's enough for -20. If I need a third hoodie, I put it on, or a sweater underneath. That's enough. I've got the coats and whatnot. What I don't have are, I think snow pants are more important than a coat for me right now. It's the legs that get cold, and it's the legs that are going to be pushing through all the wet snow. You missed a dog on my head. And I'm going a little bit crazy because I'm snowed in. I'm Northern Ontario. It's a blizzard out there. I've got limited power because the camper's battery is dying. And I'm going to have to go out when I go to clear the snow next again. I'll have to run some jumper cables from the camper to underneath the camper where my solar setup, where my solar batteries are, and run the heat off that way tonight. If you've got all 3 men, if you've got the skills, yes, of course. Yeah, right now we're at about 30 centimeters of snow. It started snowing last night. We were only supposed to get 15. And overnight it's going to be -16 degrees Celsius. Oh, I knew what I signed up for. I knew what I signed up for when I came up to the homestead. I signed up for this, and I can't live in Toronto anymore. I can't live in anywhere. No one will hire a guy with MS, and it's either this or be homeless on the streets of Toronto or another town. Like, that shit's scary. I've done it for too long. 17 months. At least here I got a life, and when I run out of supplies, I can go hunting if I'm desperate. Like, I went to Timmins yesterday. First time in Timmins, too, and it's going to be the last time in Timmins, too. We spent about 6 hours in Timmins. We went to a thrift shop. I like thrift shopping. And I was looking for blankets in there. They had a lot of cool stuff. I want to go back eventually to get the carboy they have. A big glass jug. It's like a 10-gallon glass jug meant for brewing. But that won't be any time in until the future. But outside of the thrift store, I'm waiting for the people I'm up there with, my neighbor and a couple of the other neighbors that came and his wife. Standing out there waiting for them, having a puff of this. And there's a guy literally sitting on the steps, smoking freaking either fentanyl or meth. Like right out in the open, doesn't give a shit, right in front of the main road, sitting down, smoking a crack pipe. So that's Timmins. And then they went to Walmart to pick out a laptop because he needed a new laptop for his wife. I got a dog on my head again. So I decided to wander around the area for a bit, walk through the woods, found a pathway, followed the pathway for like a minute or so, and stumbled on a huge ass, very active homeless encampment. The kind that you back away from and get out of very quickly. When homeless encampments go up, unfortunately, it brings a lot of drugs. So that was an unsafe place for me to be. And the worst part is Timmins is a really pretty town, but apparently it's the most dangerous city in the province. And I didn't know that, and I'm not built for cities anymore. Even when we went into Walmart, I had to get out there and take a walk. Not because it was dangerous, and Walmart is a freaking Walmart. It is enough. I've had enough. It's not that it's the Walmart was dangerous; it's the people. I've got social anxiety. I always have, and it seems to have gotten worse. I'm not homeless, Walk. I was for 17 months, but I'm on a homestead now. I'm within a homesteading community. I've got my little camper. This is not homelessness. This is homesteading. Enough, Moose. I love her very much. She's a good girl. And getting the battery charge is impossible today. No sun, but there'll be sun tomorrow that'll fix it. The batteries in here are charged. I'll just run jumper cables from them into the camper line, and I'll be able to run the heater all night. I've got heat and power and all that jazz, solar and propane. I have a wood stove that was too big. I got a smaller one that leaks smoke, and I'll die overnight if I run it. But I'm trying to get that fixed up. Just need to. There's so much on my list I need for winter, and I just got one of the more important things. Bloody 200. I had $200. I was fortunate enough to get that for the boots. I spent $200 on my winter boots. Need to get snow pants. I need to get ceramic insulation, and for a sheet of that, that's like $60. So the smoke stops leaking out. That's another thing I've got to get. And freaking money is when you don't have it. But still, this is easier to survive than it is in a tent. I've had enough, Moose. I know you want to play, but playtime is not right now. You had your playtime, you little butthead. We went outside. You just got dry. I don't want you covered. I don't want you to look like a snowball again. Is that so wrong? I don't want you to be a snowball. I don't want you bringing the wet back into my bed. Okay? Uh, Homesteading is homelessness with extra steps. I live way up north. I'm off grid. I've got my camper. You basically survive within your own means. Like I end up hunting a lot for food, and the goal is to be self sufficient. I'm not there yet. Like next year, in spring, I'm going to be doing what my neighbor did. Is he gets 50 chickens every year, and he gets they're specifically bred to survive on winter. They'll forage all through the winter. Like they dive in the snow, they dig holes, and they still manage to forage. You don't need any feed or anything like that. My neighbor gets 50 of them a year, and he doesn't keep them for eggs. He takes a chicken every single week for food, but it's basically trying to be self sufficient, off grid kind of deal. They're very limited fruit trees. I'm very far north. The growing season is so short. What we do have are plenty of berries. We get the honeyberries, the blueberries, choke cherries, raspberries, blackberries, and crab apples. So there are crabapple fruit trees. That's about it. But we do have a very large assortment of edible greens. I was foraging all summer for my greenery, and there wasn't a day that went by that I didn't eat like a half a pound of foraged leafy greens and roots. I've gotten better with the mushrooms. I've got a book, and I think I ate about 10 pounds worth of slippery jack mushrooms. Oh, I know. I'm losing my freaking mind today. I don't have the power to play a game. I don't have that kind of power right now. Luckily, next week, it should be here Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm going to go with my neighbors to pick up mail because I used the website called AliExpress or Alibaba, AliExpress, and spent $10 and got myself one of those retro handheld game systems that does like Super Nintendo, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, N64, PlayStation, Dreamcast, and I'm gonna that'll help keep me entertained. Plus, I've got my books. Generator is sitting outside. Uh, I still got it. I use it in case of emergencies on days I'm gonna freeze, but it's not an emergency to use gas right now. It's still warm in here. It's about the temperature I like it. But for me to run the heater, I need more power. It will just not click on. It won't light. It not enough power. That's easy fixed without using the generator because my batteries from the solar are fully charged from yesterday. All I do is run some jumper cables over to it from one battery to those batteries, and I'll be fine overnight. Heck, I'll be fine for the next couple days. The generator's for like when I'm stuck without a week without power, so I can charge everything up quickly, run it for a couple hours. But gas is expensive. Yep, I'm snowed in. We were supposed to get 15 centimeters of snow. We got 30. And they haven't done our anything, and it's going to be freaking cold tonight. Not to mention my dog has got her I need to play. I need to go outside. Let me go outside. But I can't because she'll get soaking wet again. It's that really it's good packing snow, the kind you make snowmen with. I just don't need her. It sticks to her fur, so she looks like a snowball by the end of it. And I don't need to, have to get it all cleaned off of her again, dry her up, and not let her freeze. Because she's warm and dry right now. When it gets colder, you'll be able to go outside more. But I just don't want her to be cold. Well, be safe. Earlier there was 15 centimeters. That is what? 15 centimeters is, like 5 inches? Enough. I have I've had enough. I've had enough. No more jumping. You're being bad. I've told you that's enough. No more being bad. Okay? I know it sucks and you're going crazy. But you're driving me insane. I use one of those car brushes for the snow on the panels, the ones that you use for your windshield to swipe off your car. I've got one of those. I've had enough.
Yeah, about 5. I said about 5 inches. Right now we've got a total of 10 inches of snow. I'm in a camper, a small Featherlight. It's home. I've got land that is licensed to me forever. Up here in Ontario, if you go to the north, there are a lot of homesteading communities like this. Yeah, you got to put into it. But I got my half acre licensed to me for the rest of my life, and yeah, I got the camper on it. I built a out back. Oh, sorry, out front, a cabin. Through this winter, the goal is to take the chainsaw and harvest a bunch of trees. Fine, go up. To harvest a bunch of really solid trees and build a 20-foot by 20-foot log cabin for next year. That's my dog. She's not going to get him, but she's got treats up there and she knows it. This is. She goes on my. Honestly, it's my fault she goes on the shoulders. I used to put her up there as a puppy. It's the same thing when she first wakes up in the morning. She crawls on my arms and flops over and wants to be held like a baby. But I used to put her on my shoulder when she was a small puppy. So now she thinks she doesn't realize she's gotten so much bigger and she wants a better view. Yeah, your Candy Corso is going to be like 10 times the size of my dog. uh, I don't really think so. Oh, you little shit! You little shit! You got it! You little shit! Fine, you can have your cup of treats. She had a cup of treats up there. She just got it. She earned it. I'm actually trying to write a book from all my experiences from day one of homelessness until the last day. I've been working on that slowly. That's the extent of my journaling. Jeez. I would be shocked if Moose is over 20 pounds. She looks like big and chunky. She's all fluff. If you get her wet, you can really see the dachshund in her, the wiener dog. But she's got her mom's fur. Nope, there's been no ice leaks, no water leaks on the roof or the sides at all. I did put over the summer. I got a it's this foam padding about a half an inch thick. It's black, and you put it on the top of the camper and it seals it. I put that on last over the summer, so that's preventing it. I've also sealed any air gaps up with spray foam. So yeah, it might be negative what -4 out there, but it's like 8 degrees in here. James, I am snowed in. Yes, I got snow. There's 30 centimeters on the ground and it's still snowing. Tonight's gonna be -16. I'm comfortable in here, and legit, all I have to do is walk to the back of the camper, put my jumper cables on the line, and my heat will click back on. It's just the power, the battery that runs the camper is dead. There's been snow all day, and I've been running the heater all day. So yeah, it's not working. It'll take like 20 seconds to go out, click it on, the heat will come on, and it'll be like 20 degrees in here in like a minute or two. I have snowshoes. I haven't read anything recently. I've been too busy with the outdoorsy stuff, but in my closet, I've got a bag of about 40 books that I don't know what books they are. They sell books at the thrift store in Cochrane. I went and picked out 3 books, and she said, "Is that all you want?" I said, "Why?" So the books here are as many as you can carry for $1. I'm like, even, but I've got this very large bag here. So you're saying if I could carry them, like fill this bag up with books, I can pay $1 and take them. Nobody buys books at the thrift store. They said, yeah, we just want to get rid of them like that. And I filled that bag up with every book I saw there. And it's going to be times like this when I am snowed in. I'm going to be reading a lot. Tricky. Not really. There's a video I've been trying to get out from since last year, my last day being homeless, packing everything up, throwing it out, and leaving that. Every time I start that video, every time I look at those videos, I have a panic attack. Full on, real panic attack. It's when I was first became homeless. When I was first homeless for the first little bit, I was treating it as an adventure. And then you start seeing crackheads everywhere, and things aren't going. You're still homeless. It's been 3 months. You've put out several hundred resumes in those 3 months. It wears on you, and just looking back on that, again, I start having these panic attacks. I think it's called PTSD. 20 degrees Celsius. 20 degrees Celsius. That is what? So 37 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit is 34 is 0. So I think it's like 50 degrees, 58 degrees Fahrenheit. And what's bearable to me? 34 degrees is bearable to me. 34 degrees is comfortable. My body runs really cold. So the warmer it is, the more it affects me. I can handle the cold like nobody's business. James, if the heat runs out, I've already gone through 100 pounds of propane. I've got 200 pounds more. My next thing is I don't want to be running propane for my main source of heat. I've also got a kerosene heater I can run at any time. I don't like smelling like a meth lab. I swear, when you run the kerosene, it gets into your clothes and gets into your skin. You smell like a meth lab. Last time I went to town, they were following me down the streets. Like the crackheads, they were following me down the street because, I smelled like a freaking meth lab. They must have thought I was the Pied Piper of meth heads, just the way I smelled. But I don't like running the kerosene, so I run the propane. And I've got a couple wood-burning stoves. One is way too big for in here. I will suffocate. It's too hot, or I run the risk of burning the place down. So I've got one of the ones that are meant for a tent. Unfortunately, it's not airtight. So I've got the pipe. I can have the pipe going up and out. But when I run it, the place in here fills up with smoke. And I don't want to die. So my next goal is to make it airtight. and I just don't have the money for the ceramic. I've got other things that I have to get. I've got to get to fix that up. I need to get some ceramic insulation. It's like fiberglass, but ceramic. It's meant for super high temperatures, like 2,000 degrees. I need to wrap the stove in that to make it airtight. But I don't got the $60 of that right now. I just bought myself some Timberland boots, which were more needed than anything. And now that'll be the next. It's in worst case scenario, I will try to find someone to trade a smaller wood stove for my giant one. I don't smoke weed. Can't do it. I won't do it. I have done it in the past. Full disclosure. I don't like what it does to my head. I don't like being out of my mind. How you doing, Tech? But it's fun. So this is the first big snowstorm, and there's at least 30 centimeters on the ground, probably more by now. I get tomorrow is going to be negative 16 all day, but sunny, so I'll be able to charge all my stuff. Same with the day after. It's cold but sunny, and then we get 3 days more snow. I've tried to run it. It's stupid. It's not. I got a big one that doesn't work. For in here, it's too hot. I run the risk of burning the place down, so I don't. And then I got the small camp one. It just leaks smoke, so I've got to get something to wrap it in so it stops the smoke from leaking out of the sides. And I've got the propane. I still have 200 pounds, two very large propane tanks, 200 pounds worth of propane. Since October, I went through 100 pounds of propane. Where I'm already blocked in it. It's already blocked in. And I hope the snow keeps falling like this because that's going to help me out a lot. I've already done some shoveling, pushing all the snow against my camper. I want the snow to be as high as the roof in here after I finished piling it up. That'll help me out immensely. Snow is an awesome insulator. I'll even bury the roof in snow if I have to. It'll help keep a lot of the heat in here. But yeah, I'm just kind of losing it right now. Having nothing to do. It's so weird for me being trapped like this. Like, even when I was in Sudbury, when I was pulling my ass out of the woods every day and hitchhiking into town, I could at least go to the library for a bit, sit in there and read a book, keep entertained, but there ain't no libraries around here. The camper is dead right now. I've got, enough to run a light, but it's not clicking on the furnace. So luckily it was sunny yesterday, so I turned everything off and just let the battery charge for the main. I've got 400 amp hour batteries hooked up that are fully charged right now. So when I go out, my next time I go out to clear the snow, I'll put the jumper cables on the camper. They're already hooked up to the batteries. I have them running outside. They've got caps on them on the outside. Pull the caps on, throw them on the camper, and I'll be able to run the furnace all night, no problem. Heck, I could run that furnace for the next week with the amount of power that's in those batteries right now. Oh, all it does is it needs enough power to spark and light and run the fan. If the fan doesn't run, it doesn't run. When that's running, once it sparks, it runs at, I think it's like 20 watts. I don't think I know it's at 20 watts. My inverter has a wattage counter on it, so practically it's just running a fan. That's all it is. The heat's from the fan. The propane heats up the coils, and the fan blows the air through the coils out to here, and it keeps it warm. It's not too cold. It's not too cold. It's like maybe 3 degrees, 3 to 5 degrees. Outside is minus like 5, maybe 6. It's gonna be minus 16. All I gotta do is run that heater for like 5 minutes, and it'll be 20 in here. I actually prefer it a little bit cooler. And luckily, I've got this creature here who is more of a... She's happy in the cold. She's got her coat. Playing with one of her toys. Oh, I'm happy here. Again, this winter compared to last winter is going to be easy. This is nothing, man. I'm enjoying my... The only thing is I need some entertainment. And I'm working on getting the entertainment. Yep. Well, the library also gave me something as well. I didn't just get a place to go every so often and hang out and charge my stuff. I also got to interact with people. That's why I liked the library, because I'm a chatty little Kathy, bitch, whatever I want to call me. I just chat people up. You could pay me to help build your house. I wouldn't want a unit. Someone could offer me a nice big mansion to live in, and I'd say no. I'm actually where I want to be for the rest of my life. This is how I want to live. I'm not built for the cities. I've got anxiety. I've got social anxiety, and it's so bad for me in cities with all those people. Living like this, I'm comfortable. I'm happy. This is where I want to be for the rest of my life. Yeah. I've got enough books to make a small library myself. I've got well over... Well, there's all the books I read last year I've got in the closet in a bag. I've got over 100 books there. Plus the new bag of books I haven't cracked into. There's at least 50 books there. Literally just grabbed the whole bookshelf and threw it in. $1! And yeah, I've got a couple, at least 100 books. 50 of them I haven't read. And even then, I'm going to keep collecting books. That's actually a really good idea. Do one of those little free libraries on the property. I could put that right at the front of my plot just in case somebody needs a book. That's a really good idea. No grizzlies. No grizzlies. We got black bears and moose. I'm more scared of moose than bears. And I also got my mini moose. But black bears, wolves, a lot of wolves, like real wolves. Moose. So bears, moose, wolves, lynx. Apparently there's bobcat, foxes, rabbits, the sandhill cranes, partridge, gray jays, grouse, pheasants, groundhogs, fish, owls, you name it, they're up here, but no grizzlies. There are polar bears, but they're at the sanctuary. Chait, take a guess. His name starts with a Stephen and ends with a King. I've used the stove in here for a few times, the propane stove. I don't like using it because it wastes so much propane. And that hour I'm using the stove, that's like 4 hours of heat. I'm better off cooking on a wood burning stove in here or just lighting a fire outside and cooking right over the fire. I've kind of come to love just cooking on a campfire. I'm happier cooking on a campfire. I have an outdoor wood stove. Actually, it's kind of funny. I get a drum stove out there too. They don't work that good. If you've got a wood burning stove outside and it's cold outside, they don't cook that well. They take forever to heat up, and if it's cold outside, they lose their heat really quickly. They don't get hot enough to boil water. You're better off cooking directly over a fire in the winter. In the summer, it's a different story, but the cold just sucks the heat right out of it. Actually, I have a hot tent stove for the camper, but they're not meant for something this well sealed, so it leaks smoke out the sides. I've got to fix it up so I can use it in here, and that'll be my main source of heat. I just don't got the money to buy the ceramic to do that. I'm not cold. I'm in a good mood. Like, I got to go out today, play with my dog in the snow, see my neighbor. I got to go to Timmins yesterday for the first time and last time. Never going back to that evil place. Oh, Timmins is scary. Oh, I need to get a few rolls of ceramic insulation. So they're like used for forges. It's white. It looks like fiberglass insulation, but it's ceramic. It can handle up to 2,000 degrees. And I want to wrap the stove in it so it can hold and disperse the heat and block the smoke from coming out. So it just goes up the pipe and out the top. Timmins is the most dangerous city in Ontario. Timmins is worse than Toronto. I saw a lot in Toronto, but at least the crackheads in Toronto had the decency to go into the McDonald's bathroom to smoke their freaking fentanyl instead of doing it right outside. Yesterday, we went into a thrift store. That's the picture, the video I showed with the cool skateboards. And there was too many people in there for me anyways, and I was done browsing. I was just waiting for my ride and stuff to finish up there. Stood outside the building, just walked outside, and there's a garage door. There's this guy sitting down on there, frickin' smoking a crack pipe like it's nothing right out in the open, right in front of a main street. Cars going by, a bunch of people standing around. I saw a lot, but that's freaking wild, man. Bricks of 3K is actual bricks. Like, you're talking the fire bricks. So the wood stove I'm using, it's not for the inside of the stove. It's to wrap around the outside. It leaks smoke. It doesn't want to go out the pipe. It wants to come out the sides. So the only thing I can think of is something to wrap around it to make it airtight on the sides. Hey, Mark, how you doing? No, I saw a lot in Toronto. I saw a lot in Sudbury. By far, Timmins is the worst. Like, I saw more than that, man. Like, first of all, the thrift store itself has a lot of cool stuff in it. I love that thrift store. I do want to go back there. But it was more than just, there's a person just sitting on the step right there smoking fentanyl. It's the other guys that were dealing right up at the another entrance door. That's scary as heck. The guys at the back doing the same thing. Not only that, like, it didn't take me long. When we went to Walmart, I had too much. There was just too much people. Social anxiety got to me, so I decided to go outside and wander around a bit. And I see some woods there, and I'm comfortable in the woods, so I decide to follow the pathway. And not even 2 seconds, I find a full-on encampment, and it was a big one. There was at least you could tell there was a lot of people in there by all the traffic and all the crap there. And generally, when I hate to say, I was almost too, but they're not safe places. Usually when the encampments group together like that, drugs get involved and a lot of bad stuff gets involved there. But this is right beside a very busy Walmart in Timmins. You can go Google Timmins Walmart, and to the side of it where you'll see the woods there, and it just so out in the open. Like, yeah, they're trying to hide a little bit, but plus all the paraphernalia I saw on the ground there, I just stopped in my tracks when I saw the tarps. Took a, lean over, count. There was at least between 10 and 15 structures. That means that there's at least 10 people there, probably more. You see the way it's all kept. You see the garbage on the ground. You see other paraphernalia. I just stopped my tracks like, I'm going to back away. I'm going to walk out of here. This is a bad situation for me to be in. Unfortunately, it's dangerous. But it's just, I feel so bad as well. It's on the same token. I feel really bad for them. Like, I wish there's something I could do. But a lot of times when, they're in the drugs, they don't want the help. It's like, when we were at the thrift store, it wasn't just that guy. It's when we got out of my neighbor's truck, there are like 3 people. You park behind the thrift store, and you walk to the left to get to the entrance. Then there's a right to go around it, and there was like 3 people just sitting on the ground, right against it. They were obviously unhoused or in the shelter. I'm going to assume all these people were probably staying at the shelter, and you could see them that they were out of their minds, like on every single substance they could get their hands on. And it breaks my heart. Like, I wish there's something I could do for them. There's not. Like, in that situation, when you're like that, and you're in the shelter system, and you're on every substance in the world, that's one of those situations where it's kind of up to you. You need to want help to get help. And when people want help, they generally, they get it and they get out of it. Because there's a lot of, even on the Discord and here, I've met a lot of former addicts. Or, I guess that's not the right word. They say you're never not an addict once you're an addict. You're an addict for life. So I'm going to say people in recovery. People who are fighting the good fight and staying off of it, and they are in recovery. I've got a lot of respect for people who fight that fight, who are staying off of the stuff and are trying. And that's why when I see it so blatantly, and not just in one place, like every street corner in Timmins had something there, it hurts, Well, Garo, the encampments. I avoided other people because I you feel like the safety in numbers, but unfortunately, when you're in a bad situation, it attracts people who are willing to take advantage of it and take advantage of you and hurt you, and they're not safe places. Oh yes, Mark, we are more than ready for winter. Just got a couple more things to work on. It's been snowing today. We got when I went out this morning when I was streaming, we had 15 centimeters of snow. That's all we were supposed to get. We're over 30 centimeters of snow right now, and it's still snowing. And it's going to be negative 16 tonight. We're ready. She loved it. She loved it. I had her running in the snow for a solid hour and a half. She turned white. She was completely covered head to toe in snow. And again, thank you very much. Uh, but yeah, no. Like with things up here changing, a couple of the community members and I have we've been talking on how we can improve the situation up here for everyone because we want to attract more people here. The way of living, it's not a bad way of living. It's just sustainable. And with things changing, with us forming the community association and electing presidents, we're talking start plotting places where we want to get like communities within the community going. Like the road here will snake branch down like to the left, and we can have 10 plots there, 10 half-acre plots there, and make it more accessible for everybody to get to. The plan is like we would like to change the pricing with here. So for the half acre, it's $5,000 instead of $5,000 for the half acre. We could do 15,000, and it isn't just the half acre, and like making the financing a little bit easier. So just make it finance it for X amount of dollars. For like people on disabilities who get their $1,500 a month, instead of them having to lose $500 a month paying for the acre, for like it's $10,000, I think. They can pay $250 a month for over 5 years until the 15,000 is paid off. But with that 15,000, you're not just getting left here. You're getting set up for success. Well, that's the point. We want to attract more people here, and I appreciate that, Mark. As I was discussing with my neighbor Ithamar and Corey, we could, for that $15,000, we could really set people up to not just succeed but thrive. You're not just going to get the plot. We've all got building experience, so what do? We can build tiny homes, fully insulated, wood-burning stove with a proper solar setup for about $10,000. That is more than livable. That's 3 people could live in the tiny home comfortably. So you'd have your power, you'd have a place to sleep, you'd have a place to have your heat, and you'd have your rainwater collection. That's why we'd raise the price, so we could have that. We could build the tiny home on the plot, and instead of just selling an empty plot and leaving you to your own devices and probably fail, or possibly fail, you've got a tiny home there. You're set up to succeed. You've got power, water, everything to go. And instead of having to fork over every single dollar over a short amount of time you get to pay it off, take your time. Just make sure you're making your $250 a month payment. That gives you especially if you're on ODSP, that would give you $1,250 a month to survive on, and up here that's more than livable. And again, it's just setting people up to succeed, not fail. Let's again, we've been talking within the community on what we can do to improve things for next year, and that would be a goal to start as of May, once the snow is all cleared off. Oh, again, I'm warm. I just don't have it running right now. The propane. It's like the reason why I won't cook with the propane inside. I don't want to waste it. And I'm comfortable right now, but I will be running the propane all tomorrow and all tonight because it's going to be negative 16. Since October, I've went through a lot of propane. From October till now, I went through. I've been running the stove a lot because it's cold, and I don't want the dog to suffer. I went through about 100 pounds of propane, so I've got 200 pounds of propane left, and that again, that's if I'm gonna run it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's probably 2 months. But I've got backup on backup. I've got the kerosene heater. I just don't like running it that much because it gets into your clothes and you smell like a drug lab. And I've got the small camp stove. I just have to modify a bit. Plus, I've got 8 cords of wood. Oh, the stove. There's no oven. It's just the stove, and the stove isn't. You don't. It doesn't have electric. It doesn't run by electricity. It runs on propane, and it's a pressure system, not a pump system. So, if I just turn it on, I have to light it with a match or a lighter, and it runs through the pressure. There's no electricity involved with the stove. Uh, if you're talking about a cube wood stove or an oil stove, because I've been looking at a few other options. I had a wood stove, a proper one. Unfortunately, I've had a few of them. So I've got 3 cast iron wood stoves. I gave one away. It's impossible to get it in here. It was just too big. Same with the one I put in the cabin. It's in there because it was too big to get in here. Well, I had another wood stove that's bigger than the other ones, but it's shaped differently. It's longer. I'd say length, it's maybe 3 feet long and really nice and big. I've tried running that, but I got scared because it gets way too hot way too quickly. It puts off a lot of heat, and I just feel like there's a risk of fire. Well, that's kind of yes. There's one I've been looking at. I've been thinking about getting at the end of the month when I got the money to get it. But in the Iroquois Falls, there's a guy who makes very small wood stoves, cast iron wood stoves that are like they're no bigger than a 20-pound propane tank. And I've been looking at that. I've got all the pipes I would ever need for it. It's just, a regular wood stove is like a halfway decent one is like $500. He's made these himself and he's selling them for $2. And it's something I'm looking for. I'm considering that at the end of the month. But right now, what I'm trying to fix up is I have a small tent heater. I was trying to run that in here the other day, and the smoke leaks out the side, so I don't want to risk, suffocating overnight while using that. And I have an idea to wrap it in some ceramic insulation so it'll hold the heat a lot better and disperse it over a longer period of time, plus keep the smoke from spilling out. I'm either considering trying that first, and if it doesn't work out, then get the wood burning stove from the guy in Iroquois Falls. But on Facebook Marketplace in Iroquois Falls, he has 3 of them for sale, and they're smaller. And yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Everything's expensive. Everything's expensive. Oh, cast iron is the best. You want cast iron as a wood stove. Just regular steel wood stoves, the only heat you get from them is from the fire. Once the fire's gone, the stove cools down really quickly. Cast iron, it really holds onto the heat and lets it out over a long period of time. So you're better off for a long 24 hours. Well, yeah, I know the foil tape will seal it up, but the camp stove is just stainless steel. So the only heat I'm getting from that stove is when there's an active fire going in. So once it's down to coals and the fire's burnt out, there's no more heat coming off of it. You're getting no heat from it. It's unfortunate. Stainless steel isn't the best for heating. Maybe short cooking sessions and stuff. So that's why I'm thinking just get some ceramic insulation. They use it for like forges, for smelting and blacksmithing. Wrap that around that because that can take a lot of temperature, hold the temperature, and it slowly disperses. That's one of the ideas. But as of right now, I'm good for a solid 2 months with the propane and the propane accessories. Oh yeah, no, I know the rock trick as well. But again, ceramic, and same with terracotta. Like terracotta is a ceramic that holds heat and disperses heat a lot better than rocks do. Yeah, and it's funny. I was just watching a little bit of King of the Hill the other day, and same with the new episodes of Beavis and Butthead. That is such a horrible show in so many ways, but I love it. Oh yeah, rock cotton. What you're talking? Rock wool. A rock wool insulation is the best insulation you can. It's like the upgrade from the pink. Well, the upgrade from the rock wool is actually the ceramic insulation. The ceramic insulation is even better than the rock wool. It holds the heat even better than rock wool. It's just also so a bag of pink. You buy bags of pink. Proper insulation. You got your R22. You got your R30 and your R40. Your R40 is like the super thick stuff you would use to insulate your ceiling and your floors. R22 is workable. You're more going to use an R22. It's a lot thinner for insulating different walls within the house, not walls that reach the outside. You'd use R30 for your outside wall, the walls that reach the outside. Heck, you could even go for R40. Well, and even then, I'm not losing much heat here. I've got gravel under the camper and no wind gets underneath it, so the floors are nice and warm. On top, over the summer, I got a black pad meant for the top of a camper to preserve the camper better. It's it's a foam, with a black layer over it. That's on the top. That really helps keep the heat in. It's also meant for helping to keep the heat in. It's just the sides where the camper is right now. I'm not getting much wind because I built the wind blocks out of the brush. I piled them up, and I've got the woods there. So for the sides of the camper, I'm thinking do what I did today and just over the winter as it snows, just keep piling snow up against the side of the camp, both sides of the camper, and that'll help me keep in all the rest of the heat. Tech guy, I'm agreeing with you that you're learning to use wood effectively is different. And you know what? No matter what, I'm 1,000 times better than I was last year. 10,000 times. Because I'm not in a tent. I have access to heat. And power. And I'm not in a tent. Ugh. What which one? So there was the one that I got in the summer that I posted, but I've just posted with her in the woods looking all majestic like. Then there's the one I did. So that picture there, I used AI a little bit to green up the picture a bit, and then I went all full tilt. Have my dog fight a moose in an epic battle with trebuchets and armor. And then I went make my dog the main character of a fantasy-based role-playing game. Yeah, she was that's the fantasy role-playing game character. She was supposed to be something from Skyrim. But as I'm saying is one thing I will always do is cook outside. I like that a lot. But actually my my jaw's getting sore. I've got to start heading outside and do some shoveling and change the power over to the batteries here. Run the heat a bit. So I'm gonna jump outside and do that. I love all you. Thanks for joining me. I always appreciate you guys popping in, talking to me. It's always fun for me. I'm heading out. It's been fun, and I said it's been fun like a dozen times. If you want to support the channel, give me a thumbs up. You can even hype the stream after it's over, which is even better. And if you want to really support the channel, there's a PayPal donation link in my bio. That helps out a lot, but not necessary. Love y'all. I'm heading out.